So to rebuff this request, do you think this is some extraordinary shift in our foreign policy, or should it not be seen in that light?
Well, I think it will be viewed with some concern elsewhere around the world, and it will certainly, hopefully, the government will provide more fulsome responses behind closed doors than it has provided in public, because I think our partners and allies will want reassurance in that as Australia requests focus on our region, we can still be a trusted, valued and reliable partner in other parts of the world. And that's the type of cooperative and collaborative approach that we need to ensure is maintained.
Is there any suggestion by not doing this that we would damage that reputation, that we're not collaborative, we're not a trusted partner?
Well, we have been able to be relied upon when asked previously to operate.
But does this decision change that?
And that is, well, we're not providing the same type of response on this request as we've provided in other similar scenarios in the past. So, of course, you would hope that behind closed doors, even if they are unable or incapable of doing so publicly, that behind closed doors, the government is providing a more compelling reason for the nature of its response on this occasion than it is providing to the public at this point.
Fair enough. I just wanted to end by reading a quote to you from Peter Lay, who's published a think piece in The Australian this morning. He says that essentially, his words, that perhaps some of us need to take a deep breath, not directed personally at you, of course, but he said we are now just finishing a 2-decade-long war and a largely unsatisfactory adventure in the Middle East. Let's not begin a new one. What do you think of that?
Well, I think we see profoundly different strategic challenges right now that we are having to respond to in terms of the disruption that Iran is seeking to sponsor. Iran sponsors Hamas, which has provoked the conflict in Israel. Iran sponsors the Houthi rebels in Yemen, which has provoked this outbreak of attacks on ships in the Red Sea. Iran sponsors Hezbollah. Iran, of course, is also working with Russia to sponsor their war efforts in Ukraine. There is a clear and concerted effort to cause significant disruption, and it's disruption that flows through and hurts, ultimately, Australians at the supermarket counter, Australians in paying their day-to-day bills. These might seem to be remote conflicts and issues, but what we've seen in terms of what's occurred in the Ukraine, what we're seeing as to what's happening in the Red Sea, is that the disruption being caused is having a significant impact on the global economy, particularly on cost pressures and inflation, and that flows through to all of us in negative ways, which is why it is in Australia's interest to work with our partners to ensure that these attempts at disruption are stymied and overcome.